Hello everyone and welcome to Fleet Plays Rule the Waves 3. Yes, we're back again playing Rule the Waves 3 and I hope you're all having as good a day as I am. I'm having a fantastic day today. We're looking at a bit of a pickle. It is all on the line in this conflict. We're up against the Americans and the French, with the Germans as our allies. It's going to be difficult for us to come out to be able to win the conflict, but not impossible. We should be able to relatively effectively, if we handle our ships well and handle them with pride and dedication, we should fairly easily be able to achieve, well, if not victory, then at least a return to status quo antebellum, which would still be victory, as we wouldn't lose anything. At least that would be my premise. So, where does that leave us? Well, I shall tell you where it leaves us. It leaves us here. So, we've managed to commission the fast battleship De Ruyter into the fleet. There are some concessions in her design to make her viable for service, but viable she is, and her sister is 16 months away. We're dragging in a liner for conversion to an armed merchant cruiser, though the real goal is to convert her into a fast carrier, with another one to follow afterwards. Ideally, I want 3 ships, if possible. We're going to have 1 carrier extant right now, Konig William the Third, which is ironic enough as a Konig William the second class carrier converted from one of our older dreadnought battleships. We have the 2 Brabant class with their 8 14-inch guns. We have the 3 Princess Royale class with their 6 15s. And then our first true fast battleship De Ruyter, when we then have the Van Galen class battlecruiser and the Van Ness class battlecruiser. In short, gentlemen, things are not ideal. We have a decent number of destroyers, fairly capable variety, including 4 2,000-ton plus vessels we were able to get into service just before the war began. The real problem is cruisers, specifically our lack of them. Our only modern cruisers are diminutives, very small, that we tried to build to bulk up our numbers. But unfortunately, the war got in the way. So the Germans are really having to carry the can when it comes to cruiser availability. Luckily, the French light cruiser force has been utterly devastated, and they are building more. So are the Americans. This isn't going to be easy, gentlemen. But we shall succeed. We must prevail. If we don't, everything goes belly up in rapid order. Our submarine force is doing fairly well. I thought we were building a submarine. I thought we were building one coastal submarine every month. We should be. To replace war losses. Enemy coastal raid. 5 battleships, 2 battle cruisers, 6 light cruisers. Okay. Generate the battle. French Navy declines. Cruiser battle. French Navy declines. Fleet battle. The French did not, in fact, decline. What have we got? That is the majority of our battle line. That's pretty much all of it. Most of our cruisers. Our only carrier. And our battle cruisers as well. Yeah, I need to... Yeah, I need to have all of our large destroyers screening our carriers. Because if our carriers are only going to be escorted by... Oh, no, no, you guys should be... No, I wanted you to screen the... Well, we can at least do... this. And this at least means we do at least have all of our modern destroyers screening the carriers. Because if our carriers go down, we're in trouble. Our battle cruisers are, however, only screened by a single destroyer, but that's not really a problem as they do 30 knots. And none of the enemy's battle cruisers can even touch 30 knots. We're also operating fairly close to our own coastline, so if things go wrong, dipping back into our own harbours is fairly straightforward. It's not perfect, but it's far from the worst situation. Oh, a night action. You know, I'm honestly not keen on fighting a night action. Well, I don't know whether I'll have a choice or not. Well, because the problem is we can't use our carriers, but they can't use theirs. Hard to starboard. And we'd stay out of torpedo range as best we can. I don't know what that ship thinks it's doing, but it charged in and has paid for it. One of our 800 tonners, one of our 800 tonners may have died, but it did at least discourage whatever that was from trying to close. And see, this is why I'm nervous. Minefields. Minefields everywhere, laid by the French. And a great deal of them. Yeah, I don't like that. It's too risky. Too much at risk, to be fair. I'm ordering all ships to retire. Back to harbour. There's a time when to be aggressive, but that's when you have all the information and know all the facts. I did not get a good enough look at that force for me to be comfortable engaging it. It could be weaker than me, or it could be the entire French battle line. Oh. That's strange. I'm sure we can deal with that, Montana. I'm sure we can fix that issue. Probably something to do with the bot. I'm sure that can be fixed momentarily. But for now, I'm focusing on rule the waves. Yeah. And see, this is why I am actually listening to Knight and Dr. Clark's advice. We are building plenty of war emergency build ships. Yeah. Yeah, they'll get to hit some of our coastal merchantmen, but it's a better cost than actually losing capital ships to an enemy force. I didn't even get a good look at the size of it. And when I can't have the cover of my own land-based aircraft. Which I would actually kind of want. Without our own land-based air cover, we're in trouble. There we go. I'm actually kind of glad that we didn't choose to engage. Too much risk involved. And it's not something I really like. I don't like risking my battleships when I'm a nation as small as this. Yeah. It was 4 battleships, but again, I didn't know that. And they were all very large, very capable French ships. In fact, some of the most capable in the French fleet. And that would have been about an even fight. Which would have, in terms of numbers, which would have basically played right into their hands. So yeah, I was entirely right to go home. Yes, I think the head of naval intelligence is entirely right. Oh, good. Okay, we're still managing to blockade the French. The US isn't committing assets in significant numbers to Europe, I don't think. Yeah, the US has only committed a pair of light carriers, 2 corvettes, and 8 medium submarines. The majority of the US fleet is actually in Northeast Asia for some reason. Why is it in Northeast Asia? Unless they're planning to invade our possessions in the area, but they have no... They could be actually attempting to invade our possessions in Northeast Asia. Not much I can do about it, though, but it does at least distract them while we blockade the French into submission. And if France collapses, the war's over anyway, so... That's a win for us. There we go. So we've got the new... So 1 coastal submarine every month will be laid down. And that will mean we'll have a nice cycle of replacement boats. With about 12 boats under... Sorry, 8 boats under construction at any one time, which is 800 funds, which we can easily afford. While we're at war. Yep, they are entirely... Yeah, the US fleet, I believe, is attempting to invade our possessions in the Far East. And I can't decline it, so I can't defend a convoy with a single destroyer. Especially given the US will likely be running it down with some of their battle cruisers. The only thing she can do is put on speed and run. The convoy is dead anyway. The only thing to do is to put on speed and run. It's not even worth trying to save it. It's not even worth it. Put on speed and run. There we go. Only darkness can save the convoy now. And even then, probably not. Yeah, the US dropped a light cruiser group on it, and we don't have anything even remotely equivalent to that in theatre. Nor are we likely to get anything equivalent to that in theatre for some time. The only thing I could do was save my destroyer so it could live and fight another day. And I think some of the convoy managed to survive. How many? Very few merchantmen. But the entire convoy wasn't a total loss. But the US will have accomplished their objective. And they will have sunk enough ships to actually have achieved their objectives for this battle. Not enough to counterbalance the French losses in Europe and the fact they won't come out to fight. But enough. Yeah, they dropped 3 heavy cruisers on us. And the Germans lost a light cruiser and I lost a corvette. There was only one way that was ever going to go. Okay, so the US lost a bunch of corvettes. I probably need to work on constructing a new... basically just work up a new design. Use diesel engines. Same thing. How fast can I make corvettes now? 24 knots. Probably for the best, because that means I can actually... we go. And at least now can she have dual guns as a corvette? Oh, no. Okay, I can only have singles. That's okay. She can at least engage things, and I can actually armor her up. There we go. That will do. It will at least enable me to actually construct more of these ships. Enemy coastal raid. What are we deploying against it if the French are actually coming out to fight? No, they're not, because they can't generate battle. Are we going in to raid them? No, they actually can't challenge us. Okay, French raider trying to run the blockade. It depends entirely what it is and entirely which of our cruisers has been sent to intercept it. If it's a French armed merchant cruiser, we can realistically have a chance of putting it down. If it's... Okay, what are you? You're an older cruiser, like the Utrecht, but the Utrecht is a slightly more modern design. In theory, this is a fairly even fight. It's who lands the hits first, and I think we're actually getting the better of the engagement, gunnery-wise. And besides, if she's damaged, then yes, she might not be. She might have to be interned. She may not make it home to a French port, or she may not get out to actually raid. Either way, we still win. That's too close to French harbour. But we've at least chased her into Brest. She's not going to get away into the Atlantic to raid Dutch and German commerce. Oh, hey! Our mine-laying submarine just casually said, "Parry this, you fucking casual," with her deck guns. Good, our older cruisers are preventing the French breaking out of the blockade. Very good. Things are going well. I would like just to build a new pair of corvettes. Oh no, they cost a ton. I would just like to build a single corvette just while we're at war. Just to send out to the stations. Just to ensure that we have something replacement coming down the line. I also want to see how much it will take. So Africa is commissioned into the fleet. And then she is going to get immediately dragged in. Because she will have to work up again anyway. Okay, so replace machinery. What's the highest the hull form will take? Hang on, so 28 knots. Okay, auto carrier conversion, please. Yeah, 28 knots. Okay. So 5-inch twins with advanced directors. Very, very good. Honestly, given... Yeah, clear turrets for me for a second. Given how much air attack we're under, I'm actually going to demand that we actually have a fairly heavy... AA battery on these new class of Africa carriers. They are converted from merchant ships, it's true, but they are still going to be some of the larger carriers in the fleet. I do plan to bulge them, even though it will decrease their speed slightly. It will mean that they can They'll be 25 knots, but that means we do actually have some torpedo defense, which they wouldn't have otherwise had. And at 4 months to drag them in, then another 12 to convert, it's still vastly quicker than any other thing we were doing. If I drop it... So no secondaries. If we put deck edge lifts on, that's fine. That'll help. Four-inch dual purpose is fine. I might actually go for 3-inch guns. That still doesn't buy me much more. I'd rather have more medium and light AA guns. Just to really help try and defend these ships. Yeah, I know, she's overgunned, but it's worth it. And then, so how much will that... Because that cost about the same as actually building her new, but it'll only take 10 months. And of course, bulging her is required because she needs to be able to resist torpedo attack. So what do we have for our construction plan? Well, we're finishing off the second De Ruyter. We're building 4 of the first 4 war builds, building 1, laying down 1 new coastal submarine every month to replace war losses and expand the submarine fleet gradually as we go. We're looking at a... Oh, hello. 4 battleships, a cruiser, 2 light cruisers, 3... The problem is the French carriers. But, in theory, if they have to come to us, that's okay. Problem is one of our fast battleships is tied to our main battle line. But that's not so bad. So we're sinking any 2 ships. Yeah, this is going to... Please tell me it's not going to go to a night action instantly. Nope, we have tons of daylight. Okay, let's do it. I really don't want to raid into the channel if I can avoid it. That's not ideal. But we do have a carrier. So what I can do is I can launch an escorted strike to raid further south. Priority targets are any ships you can find. We got nothing to coordinate the strike with. Well, we found them anyway, so that's something... Yeah, they've gone into port, which isn't surprising. I'm hoping that the French will be willing to come out and play. Because those merchants can't retire into port. I am concerned with French minefields, however. I am also waiting for reports on where the French carriers are. I'm also surprised we haven't been attacked by aircraft operating from Dunkirk airfield. And why we haven't engaged the large merchant. I mean, there are actually a pair of merchants here. If they can... Oh, hello! Never mind. I think we found our enemy task group. Fall back onto the battle line. That's it. Come on, fall back onto the Dutch battle line. It's the battleships Verite. And this time we have the advantage. We have 6 battleships. I believe they have 4. This is a decisive engagement, and I will not waste this opportunity. Especially since leading the rear of our formation is the battleship De Ruyter. The most powerful battleship in the Dutch Navy, and the fastest. A true fast battleship of 30 knots. They're hitting us with the Verite class, which again are very tough and powerful. A Carnot class, again, very tough and powerful, and an Iena class. These are all tough, powerful ships. But there are 3 of them, and there are 6 of us. Not counting the 2 battle cruisers who I'm ramping up to 30 knots to come and have a crack at them as well. Yes, I do want to adjust. I want you to hit the enemy battle line while it's engaged. Since we've actually been able to join battle fairly effectively. I've just realised they're in a vulnerable position. Oh no, they're turning away. I mean, if they run to port, they concede the field, and I can just raid commerce at my discretion. And I still win. Oh, they are not conceding the field. How lovely. The battle cruisers have lured them back out again. How marvellous. Okay, one of our light cruisers struck a mine. Oh yeah, she just got... no in this particular case, because that's a mine... Okay, so we know there's a minefield there. Let's steer clear of that then. Ooh, Van Galen just took a... Ooh. Yeah, he just took 3 14-inch shell hits. That is... Ooh, that is nasty. It's alright, the battleships are banging away with their guns. The French don't have any guns larger than 14 inches, whereas we have 15s and 16s in our formation. I'm going to drop speed back down to 25 knots. And just hover over to the left-hand side of our... Yeah, that's not very surprising. That's actually fairly expected. We've been expecting aircraft to arrive. Are you kidding me? Are you actually having a laugh? The French fly in with 8 aircraft and just casually destroy our newest battleship. Are you actually joking? I bet you when my torpedo strike comes in, it'll not find anything. Yes, pick up survivors. We're going home. Oh yeah, but of course one of our other battleships also takes a torpedo hit. And the cruiser that struck a mine has also struck a mine. Okay, we're not doing high speed. We're going home. You already torpedoed her. You don't have to hit her with more torpedoes. Like, they could have torpedoed anything else. But they literally torpedoed our newest capital ship on its first ever outing and just sank it. Aircraft happen. Aircraft happen. That's not aircraft happening. That's incredibly bad luck. That's our newest capital ship. It's incredibly frustrating. Oh, and I bet you Brabant's going to die as well, because her rudder's hit. And she can't move. Oh, no, they're trying to go after Limburg. She's turning to evade. Nope, she's taking a torpedo. So this is going to be the entire Dutch battle line down for repairs for a good while. Where are the Germans? Supposed to be helping. I mean, yes, they have sunk a large chunk of the French light cruiser and battle cruiser force. So those really don't exist anymore. But where are they? Where are their carriers? I know where our carrier is. Our sole carrier. This is the problem with fighting the French. It's suicidally close waters, but you have to take the engagements, otherwise you just lose prestige. And to be fair, the engagement was going very well until the moment that I lost the... It's alright, that's it. Okay, König Wilhelm has fairly good air defense, she'll be fine. Yeah, it's level bombing. Yeah, she's fine. Yeah, the cap will get him as well. Yeah, she's fine. There we go. Okay, come on, Brabant, I believe. You can shake him. Okay, we did manage to sink 2 ships. Okay, that's something. How many torps we have? Okay, we have some torpedo bombers left. It will mean them landing at night. But I think if we send our aircraft out, I reckon... Or we can have one last chance to actually try and sink some French capital ships. It's a long shot, but it might work. So yeah, you're gonna hunt slightly down here and to the left. Okay, so here come enemy aircraft. So AA opened up. Limburg's avoiding torpedoes. Avoiding. She dodged them all! Absolute legend! Yes, please. Everybody's entering port. That was a very painful experience for the Dutch Navy. Okay. Oh! Okay, our torpedo bombers have found something. So our torpedo aircraft have found something at the same time that... Yeah, so we've torpedo bombed something. We don't know what. Oh, we hit something! Well, the only ones who can use aircraft. Oh, our fighters are going in on that naval strike, I believe. Yep, the fighters are good. Yep, the fighters got it. Good job, boys. The Fokkers are doing well tonight. Come on, avoid. Oh, she's been hit by a torpedo. Hang on. No, I need to... Yes, I need you to tell me when things are hit by torpedoes, please. Oh, avoid it. Yes, she avoided it. Oh, König Wilhelm's also been hit by a torpedo. No. The brave girl. She's alright, though. I bulged her when I refitted her. So, and she was already a battleship. She was already pretty tough. They really are hitting. Avoid it. Avoid it. Ah, she's been hit by a torpedo. Oh. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, this is just annoying. It's a procurement strategy issue. Yeah, I'm the Netherlands. The fact I have a fleet the size I have at all is incredible. I only hope that what we hit was something worthwhile hitting. And not just a single merchant ship. Oh, that. No. It wasn't anything. That's a total victory for the French. 2 Dutch battleships sunk. The other 4, only 1 ship escaped undamaged. Ugh, it's annoying. Yes, I will develop dive bombers. They could be quite useful. Range and toughness, please, what I want to focus on. Okay, the Germans have lost a single destroyer. One of the French raiding cruisers has been forced to scuttle. The French are still under blockade, thanks to my German allies. That stings, though. That really stings. We're down to 4 Dreadnought battleships now, out of the 7 we used to have. We also lost one of the first fast battleship we've ever built. It's also massively hiked costs as repairs mount. You need to consider what I have to lay down a replacement. There's no option to not. But what I do need to consider is what I might do to improve her capabilities. We do have 18-inch guns, but that won't really work on a hull this size. Even with magazine box, I'm still asking a bit much of it. Maybe that still have a bit of a muse zone. No, 16s it'll have to stay with. I could go with 15s. They are higher quality than the 16s, but the results are about the same. And she had decent torpedo defense as well. If I can increase torpedo defense, I can have them as dual-purpose 4-inch guns as well. I can make them 5s, actually. Do we have dual-purpose 5s? We do have dual-purpose 5s. Okay, that's good. Can I push the speed even higher? Yes, I can get 32 knots out of a Gelderland-class fast battleship. Never mind, battle cruiser. Well, to be fair, same armor as the battleship, and I could do with a new battle cruiser anyway, so... First batch of war emergency builds it. The only thing to do, really, is run. Run to the nearest Dutch harbour. Because whatever that ship is, it will be more powerful than the little corvette. Ideally, we break contact and hope they don't see us. They saw us. Yeah, that's one of France's modern light cruisers. That's not good. Unless this gunboat can accomplish a miracle. Well, it managed to damage the light cruise, which is more than you can say for most colonial gunboats. And we're lacking tonnage on foreign station because of that. Which is really a problem. Send one of the trade protection cruisers to foreign station because we can't afford to not have foreign station. So Trump is nearly done. First 4 war emergency build destroyers are nearly complete. That's not too much of a problem. We've actually not suffered that many destroyer losses during the war, and we haven't lost any of our 2,000 or 2,500 tonners, full-size destroyers. So that's not too bad. Rule the Waves 3. Yeah, this is Rule the Waves 3. The rebuild of the liner Africa into the aircraft carrier Africa is going well. Not going to give me the best aircraft carrier in the world, but it's going to give me another flight deck, which is good. The only saving grace is that for some reason that I can't quite fathom, most of the US Navy is deployed in the Caribbean or in the Pacific and Northeast Asia and just isn't coming to the aid of their French allies. So myself and the Germans just are blockading France into submission. And if France collapses, the war is over and we win. Enemy coastal raid. I'm not confident. It depends on what we've got to resist it. No. Oh, are you kidding me? I don't want to... No. I'm taking the fleet back to port. I know you say I can't decline the battle, but I'm going to decline the battle anyway. We're going back to harbour with immediate effect. We're probably going to sail for Emden because we can't go into Den Helder. Because, to be blunt, if our fleet engages, they're just going to win. So no. We're cranking the ships up to flank speed. We're turning away. And we are choosing to not be here. We're choosing to be anywhere else. Actually, The Germans have sent out the Scharnhorst, have they? Along with Lothringen and Wittelsbach. Okay. That changes things slightly, but we still only have our carrier to deal with it. Alright, I'll bite. I'll see the French force, and then I'll decide whether or not, because the Germans have been kind enough to actually deploy a force of 26-knot battleships. So if they're out, then it is worth actually... If we stick with them, we should be able to at least engage the French on fairly good terms if we stick with the Germans. We have to stick with the Germans, though. Have we had any sighting reports? None. So if the French fleet is out, we haven't found it. The Germans certainly haven't found anything, because they're coming back down this way. Yep, there we go. Okay, so they have avoided hitting us. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, yep, so even the Germans are coming into harbour at this point. Yep, there we go. It's just French. It's French land-based air power that's doing it. Our aircraft haven't spotted any French ships. Maybe they also turned tail and fled. It's possible. And we'll not find them at night anyway. And they were there, but they must have returned to port. Just as well, actually. The amount of carriers they had is a little bit silly. And we would have lost that engagement had it gone to a carrier fight. Yes, I am retiring him after that horrible show. No, I'm not going to buy that. I can't afford it anyway. Well, we managed to find a French float plane. It can do those things. Good. Okay, so it's not really that quick. Ha! Our carrier sinks a French submarine. Very good. Very good. Oh, so the Germans lost a destroyer and a seaplane tender. The French lost one of their precious battleships. Keep winning, Germany. Oh, there we go. Very good. Oh, so the Americans sank a destroyer. So the Germans sank a destroyer, a corvette, and a light carrier. The Germans lost 2 destroyers and the battlecruiser Rune. What was she? Was she one of their older ships? If she was, that's not too bad. She's not one of their... She's older, but she's not... She's not their most... She was one of their more modern ships, but she's not anything like a Gneisenau. We've still got Graf Spee knocking around. I mean, now the French are just down to 4 battleships, period. And they haven't got any battlecruisers to oppose me. The problem is their carriers. 3 Bairns, which are, in this timeline, keel-up ships. The light carrier Nantes, which is fairly slick. The... Oh, sorry, must be refit. The Arnemansch. Hang on a minute. How is that a light carrier? It's 34,000 tons. Something's not quite right there. Methinks the French are lying. But the French only have 2 light cruisers. So yeah, they are thoroughly under blockade. And unless the US actually commits to Europe, they are going to be blockaded into their government collapsing. And that's where they will be. So, things are not great, but they could be worse. The problem is, doing raids on the enemy shipping in the English Channel is not ideal. Because again, we've seen what happens. It just leads to losing aircraft. Ooh, hello. That medium bomber's better than any of our current designs. Beautiful. Yeah. So the French lost the destroyer and the Germans lost 1 destroyer, the French lost 2 destroyers and a corvette. So yeah, like, the French can keep winning small battles. You are building small submarines. Yep, so there we go. So every month a small coastal sub will commission until the war is over. So the first batch of war build destroyers are nearly done. And then, obviously, the next batch will be built right on top of them. In fact, I probably need to consider what the next batch is. So, there we go. So that is what they currently are. Can I shrink it down? No, I cannot. Actually, if I go like this, if I shrink the singles down to... doubles down to singles, move the forward mount forward a little bit, like that. And then if I had a forward superimposed single 4-inch, I reckon I could just squeeze that in at 800 tons. Beautiful! That saves even more money. I mean, we lose a gun, but it's worth it to have slightly cheaper war emergency destroyers. Most inefficient light carrier ever. Montana, you are absolutely right. Convoy attack. Okay, so it's away from France. Give me 2 minutes. I need to ponder that, actually, because that's an interesting thought hypothetical. Actually, you know what? I'm going to shut up for 2 minutes. So, watchers. I'll just generate the battle first so you can see what forces we've got. So, we're to the west of France. We're away from French air cover, for the most part. Do we take this fight? Especially since the Germans have lent us some of their capital ships. Well, oh, bloody hell. Spin. Right. Lean, twist. So, let's see. What has the Admiralty Board decided? So, Montana says, Knight says maybe. Montana says it's risky, but considering the fact we lost a third of our heavy units, I'm inclined to say we dare attempt it. The tendency is to keep what we have, but bold action might be required. I see, so they're saying, I think the consensus is the same as me. It's risky, but it's the safest action we've had for some time. It's away from French air power. So I say, actually, I'm going to tell them to suppress enemy airfields. Should buy us some time. Okay, so we're right on top of the convoy. The Germans are laid down by the battleship Wittelsbach. So they can only do 21 knots, so we need to make sure we don't go faster than 21 knots. Send my battle cruisers, to which the French absolutely, and I know they have no answer. Okay, unknown ship sighted. So I'm going to send up my battle cruisers winging off around one flank. I presume since those ships are moving quickly, that must be the German, so the French heavy cruisers. Because the French don't have any battle cruisers. Whatever they are, they're moving at a fair old rate. They're probably France's heavy cruisers. The last pair of them would be my guesstimate. The merchant convoy's up there. I mean, that's the goal here. They can't be battle cruisers because the French don't have any battle cruisers. And I know they don't. It's not. It's a pair of France's fast battleships. So I'm going to tell my battleships to keep chasing their battleships, and my battle cruisers are going to swing right, hook between our battle lines, and then, oh, they're trying to cross our T, that's not going to work. I mean, my goal is to chase the battleships away from the convoy so that the battle cruisers can go to work and basically sink it. While I would like to chase down the pair of French capital ships, that can come after the convoy is savaged and sunk. I mean, if they choose to try and turn and save it, then the outcome will be very much the same. Hang on, pause. So again, put our battleships engaging their battleships so that our battle cruisers can engage the convoy. That's the goal here. We don't want to get too close to their battle. Yep, not surprised. That's the French carriers making themselves known. Do we have any sighting reports? No, we don't. But judging by where they've come from, it would have been a straight flight. So somewhere in that direction are the French carriers. So we need to alter the search pattern. There we go. So somewhere in that direction are the French carriers. Bring the distance down. Maximum cap, please. In theory, this shouldn't be too... It's only 6 Lorraines with us. We've got fairly good AA defense. We're moving at speed. We've got the Germans with us. These two French capital ships are having a really bad time. This is not where they want to be today. Oh, the French have gone after the German ships. Our torpedo boats are actually engaging the French battleships with torpedo salvos. I'm now able to circle our battle cruisers round and chase the rest of the convoy. Oh, Carno is stopped. Veritas in a bad way. Dutch 15-inch shells are crashing into them now. Again, there's another Lorraine strike. It's coming from the south this time. Where are our carriers? We do have a carrier, don't we? Yeah, where is she? I've lost her. Where is she? Where are you, Koenig William? Where are you? Oh, you're way off to the south. That'll to do it. So yeah, the Verite and the Carno are... Flash fire! Well done, boys! Well done! Good shooting! Fantastic shooting! Oh, they found, oh, that's not good. I mean, she's got one of the big destroyers with her, but that's not good. Wait, so does that mean that if the French aircraft are coming up from the south, that must mean... That's gotta mean that the French aircraft are to the south of our... aircraft carriers are to the south of our formation, surely. Surely. Right? For those who were saying we should act cautiously but go for it, you were proven entirely correct. This has been a heroic victory for the Dutch Navy. Ah, they got one torpedo into Brabant, but she's okay. She's okay. We're savaging the merchants with our battle cruisers, which is what we wanted to do. Yep. Again. Look again. I need to find these French carriers, but I can't find them. Yes, please. I want to pick up the survivors. We don't just leave people to die in the water. We're not savages. Unlike the Americans. They've left a lot of our sailors to die in the water, those Americans. We still haven't forgiven them for it. Van Galen is doing well. So is Van Ness. Watch out for the French torpedo boat. Yep, there we go. That's it. Yeah, the entire French convoy has had it. That's it. You are past it, son. Has Koning Wilhelm taken any damage at all? No, she's just evaded all the air attacks like an absolute champ. Now we need to find these French carriers. We've had no reports on a French carrier force. None. Not a bit of it. How? How did he... Well, never mind. Van Galen's fairly tough. She's alright. And she's taking it on the torpedo belt like an absolute champ. Taking it on the torpedo belt like a champ. Yeah, some of the merchants are trying to get away, but we'll go after them, make sure they don't get away. Now, there must be some indication of where this carrier group is. There's gotta be. No, actually, I do want to slow down to cruising speed. I don't want to leave Brabant behind. Besides, I need to enter cruising speed anyway. I need to figure out where the heck the French carriers are. Because they've got to be somewhere. What sighting reports have we had? Okay. The latest report that we had put 2 carriers and a destroyer heading southeast. And that was the cruiser Königsberg. So they're to our east. So if we go eastward, like that, we should be able to catch them. But we haven't committed the aircraft from our carrier yet. Maybe now is the time to do that. Now, I don't know if we're going to get any hits here. This is a bit of a risk. But it may be worthwhile. Oh, Scharnhorst is avoiding torpedoes. Oh, Scharnhorst, you... Oh, poor Scharnhorst. Oh. Oh, you poor girl. Oh, no. Poor Scharnhorst. She got lucky, but... Well, you can't take 4 torpedoes to the side if you're not a Yamato and live. These French carriers are proving to be a nuisance. We've got to attempt to run them down. So let me just check. Where does the reports put them at? So they're heading towards that location if the reports are still right. So we'll put that there, and that should put our aircraft in exactly the position they need to be in. Yeah, joke's on you. Oh, wait, where's her cap? Oh, dodge, dodge, dodge. Come on, do it like a champ. Oh! Still, this is why we bulged her when she was converted. Because she could take torpedoes like a champ. Our aircraft should be on the way to the strike package now. Here's hoping with a bit of luck. Well, they've attacked Scharnhorst. Wittelsbach is avoiding torpedoes. Where is Wittelsbach anyway? She was with the task force a moment ago. But how is she taking torpedoes when there are no aircraft nearby? The hell? How is Pommern taking... Is there a submarine nearby? It's got to be. It's the only thing I can think of. Well, they're attacking Scharnhorst. That's not surprising, but, well, they're just trying to confirm a kill they already don't know they've made. Okay, the fact that enemy aircraft are engaging our battle cruisers means we are closing in. Okay, Van Ness avoided all the torpedoes aimed at her. But that still... that still worries me. I'm going to try and break away southwards. I had hoped to find the carriers and catch them on the surface, but don't think we're going to be able to. Okay, that's going to... Okay, these French carriers are really becoming a problem. And the Germans never show up with their carriers, leaving me to carry the can. Germany, if you don't show... Hello? Okay. There are the two bands. How is Van Galen? Okay, she can make 17 knots. Right. This is a risk, or what I'm about to do. But if it works, I'm going to be able to catch those carriers. It's a risk, make no mistake. But if it works... Chance encounter has showed us exactly where the enemy carriers are. And we know where they are now. Oh, come on, don't get hit by torpedoes, please. Oh. Come on. Oh. Okay, Wittelsbach avoids torpedoes, then is hit by one. Come on. Oh, Van Ness. No, keep the target location. Come on, Van Ness, avoid the torpedoes. Come on, you need to keep your speed up. You're the only hope I've got to actually salvage this battle. Come on. Come on. Come on, close down those French ships. I know they're somewhere nearby, and I also know they're not as fast as us. There they are! We've caught them! We've caught the French carriers with one of our battle cruisers. Oh, and our naval strike arrives. Now it's time for some revenge. Oh, you're so dead. You're so dead. Can't run. And if you haven't got a strike up, you're so dead. Hello, it's me. Oh, this is cathartic. How does a near miss? How do you have a near miss with a torpedo? It either hits you or it doesn't. And that near miss causes her to sink, does it? Come on, you are going to die. No, you are not stopping me breaking through to those carriers. Urgh! Of course the AI gets lucky, again. Those carriers should have been dead! Victory was mine by right! Victory should have been mine. Oh, both of the Dutch battle cruisers have been sunk in this battle. I think. Unless one of the other ones survived. Yeah, that's so annoying. That's so annoying. That's not fair. That should have been my victory. It was my victory. And then I got bullshitted by a torpedo that shouldn't have hit my battle cruiser. She was going at speed between two destroyers. There's no way a torpedo attack could have been done on her like that. If it couldn't be done to Scharnhorst and Gneisenau, it shouldn't have been able to be done to me. It's just stupid. Not now. Can't afford it. I have to replace the Reuter on the slips when she's done. Did you miss? Well, did you miss it? Well, we just got a victory robbed from us by the French carriers again. I basically just am now not going to take any battles because it doesn't matter. Every time we think we're going to have a victory, it's just stolen from us. So all we need to do now is just wait. Just wait for France to be blockaded into submission. Nope, we're just not taking any of the battles. Yeah, and then we lose one of our vital ships for overseas work, which is very annoying. Two of our new next generation of war build destroyers. And of course I can't decline the battle. Nope, I'm just not. I'm going back to harbour and waiting for France to collapse into revolution. I'm not even bothering. If the aircraft want to fight, they can, but the Navy's going back to port. We can't afford to just have a loss of that nature anymore. It's just not. Yeah, the French have brought their carriers. It's just not worth it. Any battle where there's even a chance of the French having their carriers, it's just not worth it. There are no aircraft even remotely near Brandenburg? They're miles away. They're outside of main battery gun range. And you're telling me that is they can drop torpedoes from that range? Are you being absolutely serious right now, game? You're telling me the French have aerial super duper long lancers? This is just getting aggressively silly. It feels like the game is basically deciding that I need to now lose because I've been winning. This is just getting silly. Yep, and of course, we're going to lose another battleship. Yep, we're going to lose one of our battleships because this is just getting annoying now. And apparently they can naval strike us even though they're nowhere near us. They are at least 17 miles away, and apparently they have torpedoes that when dropped from an aircraft can travel 17 miles. That's just silly. They're not even close to us. This is stupid. This is actually getting... it was bad in the last battle, but this is just stupid. I've lost these battleships just the game decreed it so. That's literally it. The game has decreed it that we're going to lose battleships, even though they shouldn't have been sunk. It's just... That's really soured me. That's really not fair. Just Rule the Waves has decreed it law. All I was doing was sailing to my port. That was it. Okay, now these aircraft are actually near Brandenburg. So I'll believe it if they actually hit her with torpedoes. There were only 2 of them. How have they dropped 4? Or is each aircraft carrying 2 torpedoes now? Is that what this is? Now that, yeah, oh, for God's sake, Brandenburg's going to die within sight of the... Nope, yep, there we go. And again, more top... Yep, just because apparently the French aviators... Oh, God, I don't care. Just get the lads home. It just doesn't matter anymore. It just... The French have just won. I think, honestly, I'm losing my patience for continuing this campaign. This is... Like, if I'm getting outmatched fair and square, that's fine, but this is just silly. I've lost a pair of battleships to complete and utter nonsense. But only the last set of torpedo hits on Brandenburg were even remotely fair. There were no aircraft anywhere near the battleships. They were all menacing the destroyers. But apparently the battleships got hit by torpedoes from 17 miles away. Sure. Sure, that's fair. Problem is it's a modded map, so I don't... Isn't like the Dutch now have possessions that don't exist on the normal map. But even so, I wouldn't think that would change how the battles are handled. That's just aggressively silly. I'm just not leaving port. The Dutch Navy is not leaving port. Because there's no point. It costs us more than we gain. Because of those French carriers. And when I had a chance to kill 2 of them, the game just decided that no, apparently I don't get to have good luck. Only the French and the Americans get to have good luck. It's just aggressively silly. Yeah, that's actually the worst Rule the Waves battle I've ever had. Of course. And of course, our aircraft, yeah, that's, look at that. That's just, yeah. Yeah, I'm retiring him. He shouldn't have even allowed us to go to sea. Yeah, go on then, Army. See if you can help the French tip over into capitulation even faster. If you can, fantastic. If you can't, yeah, hang on 1 second. Cruiser battle. Yay, enemy can't challenge a convoy defense. I'm not even going to bother. Because I bet you the French will... Yeah, oh god, the ship. Enemy coastal raid. If I'm not allowed to decline this, I'm going to actively scream. Nope, I'm not even going to bother. It's not worth it. We will see what the enemy... Honestly, negotiate now. Secure peace. It's just... New dive bomber. It has slightly longer range. New medium bomber. We're still blockading the French anyway, so that's something. I'm just going to surge some more coastal boats. Just do a surge construction. Get me some of the older 800-tonners into trade protection. We aren't losing anything to their subs, but we need to ensure it stays that way. Convoy attack. Nope, because the French caravans will be there defending it and it'll just be a loss. Strikes anti-war demonstrations taking place in France. 3 ships finished their working up. Examination of captured enemy munitions. Excellent. 19-inch guns. Well, those are helpful. They exist. Okay, so the US lost a corvette. The French have sunk a German battle cruiser. Well, we've got a new carrier, the Africas. Okay, the blockade is causing hardships. The army has actually done its job. Excellent. So, now that we've done that, I'm not going to... I'm half tempted to double down. Our capital ships aren't helping us. I'm half tempted to double down on the Africa class. There are no more fast liners. Okay, so we have one more fast liner available to be converted. That's something. And then actually, can I get a 21-knot ship that is larger? Because you might be slow, but at least it'll be... yes, let's give her air group. Yep, 10... Actually, yeah, 10 fighters, 10 torpedo bombers. That'll do. It's alright for now. No, auto-resolve it. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. The French using their heavy cruisers to raid. The problem was solved with some modifications. Yeah, morale will go down, but that's honestly fine. As long as our submarines can keep sinking enemy merchant ships, we should be fine. And we're not losing submarines that heavily. Trump's coming into service, so that'll bulk up our capital ship numbers. We've got the War Emergency Build destroyers being built in 2 pairs of 2. It's just the mod is affecting item avatar placement. It could be, but it just feels... But if that was the case, then it would be like you would during an intelligence coup we can ambush an enemy force. No, they're going to have all their carriers. I don't want to do it. Small engagement. No, we don't want to do that. That's just one of our destroyers versus the entire might of the USN. Well, Trump is in service. That's something. So, the Africa will be taken in hand and converted. That won't be too hard to do. We've already got the design. No, because they will have their carriers. Enemy raid on Batavia. We don't know why we don't have anything in the area. So we're just... We don't have anything in the area. It's all in Europe. How are we supposed to stop a raid on Batavia with our stuff in Europe? No, they're going to have their carriers. No. We do not have the carrier strength to contest the French at sea. We just have to wait now for the French to collapse. That's all we can do. Okay. Honestly, yeah, take the offer. Well, of course they take one of our fast battleships. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Good lord. So, yeah, that was an awful war. That was abysmal. But we managed to hold on to the... Well, the Americans now hold a good part of China. We still hold the Dutch East Indies, so that's lucky. We still hold North Korea. We still hold Dutch Iraq, which is actually quite useful. And we had to give up our most modern capital ship, which is thoroughly annoying. And we had to give up one of the ships we were about to convert into a carrier. But we do still have the carrier Côte Barreau, the large cruiser Côte Barreau, which can be converted into a large carrier. And should probably be converted into a large carrier. Doing 24 knots, same as the Africa. If I could squeeze it, I'll get 26. No, 24. It'll have to be the same as the Africa. But that's fine. Carrying 50 aircraft with deck edge lifts. It's not ideal, mind you. There's a lot that can go wrong with the design. I would like to focus our engines on speed to get some tonnage for anti-aircraft guns, given how much damage we suffered from aircraft in the last war. But it will give us our largest and most capable carrier. It's costly, but we can afford to do it. Côte Barreau. That's what the carrier is going to be called when she's converted from the large, slow liner. Start a thorough investigation. It doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, we shot down 48 aircraft. It wasn't enough. Most of the work was done by fighters. We entered the war with 7 battleships and 2 battle cruisers. We now only have 1 battle cruiser and 2 battleships. None are of our most modern type. Not a good war, gentlemen. That's the 3rd bad war we've had so far. It's 3 bad wars we've had. Still, it could be worse. It could be China. My goals for the next week's campaign is to go back to doing what the Netherlands does best. What we have proven our capabilities to do. Bully China. We're good at it. We have the bases to do it. And so we should do it. And try, if we can, punish the Spanish as well. We are more powerful than China and Spain, and therefore we need to punch downwards. And ideally, take as many colonies from the both of them as is physically possible to be done. But that is for next week. I hope you all have enjoyed watching. I understand I've become a bit irate as we've gone on, but you can probably understand my frustration given what occurred in the latter part of the war. But next week, hopefully, things will go better. And we'll be able to go back to doing what we do best. Punching the crap out of the Chinese and the Spanish. And with that, I leave you all. Take care, folks, and I'll catch you